Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Happy Wednesday. A little bit of bad news, good news type situation. Bad news, still sick. Good news, still alive. The plan. The plan is to get the Higurashi character tier list here done. And then originally the goal was to, I think in one sitting, play all of mouthwashing. After we do this tier list, I'm going to see how I feel after that. And also, let's just hope I don't have to cough or sneeze. I won't get into more details on that, but that's basically the condition I'm in right now. So I don't want to hear anything. I'm gonna do this character tier list finally that was supposed to be due yesterday. I'm gonna do this over my dead body. I'll do this. We're gonna get through this. Also, it feels like we need some Higurashi background music. So let me just boot up like the menu to Higurashi, and I think that'll be fine if we do that. And then let me see if I got this framed correctly. Okay, not that. Okay. Professional. There we go. We need the cicadas to be crying. That's what we're gonna get. We're gonna get outdoor noise as we do this tier list. Hopefully that doesn't get annoying in the slightest. So yeah, welcome to the Higurashi character tier list. 2 years ago or so, 2 to 3 years ago, when I finished Umineko, all of Umineko, in a year's span, I did a tier list at the end, character tier list, and there was no problems with it. Everyone agreed with my opinions. There was no controversial rankings done or anything. No one was upset. No one found a certain character to be listed at a bad spot or anything. Trust me, don't go finding the video. Don't worry about it. The video is available on YouTube, though, as well, if you care to go find it. But it's hidden in, I think the series finale, part 89, maybe, of Umineko? Again, 2 or 3 years ago. So now, if you somehow stumbled upon this video, because this is its own breakout video, separate from the Higurashi finale we actually did of the epilogue after all the console arcs yesterday, I've spent the last 2 years reading and digesting all of Higurashi here on stream. It was the main 8, arcs, the main story arcs. Then we did all of Ho, Rei, Do, Re, Mi. It sounds like whenever I say Ho, Rei. We watched the live action television series. We played some mini games. We played Daybreak. We attempted to play Daybreak. I played the pachinko machine a couple times at conventions. I read all the advanced arcs, all the... too much. Like I said, it took me about 2 years on stream. I think 161 individual parts and streams to it. And now, just like Umineko, I feel like I have to do a character tier list. So I found this one. I tried to find the best one I could find that had a good smattering of all of the biggest characters and also some minor ones. It's not an exhaustive list. I found some tier lists that had characters from probably the manga or something, or shit I never looked at or read, and I was like, it's not gonna be a good tier list if it's a bunch of characters I don't know. I actually want to rank all the characters that I know, and not even have a bar that's I don't know this character, because that's no fun when you get to a tier list, I think, or you're watching a tier list that's like that. And also it's using the sprites that I'm most familiar with, which makes this very easy for me. Now, despite it being easy for me, I am terrible with names for characters and whatever. Also, as I said at the start, this started 2 years ago. And I'm also a very old adult man who has millions of other things on his brain. Basically what I'm trying to say is I'm looking at this list of characters. There's some characters I just don't remember their names. So when I start trying to piece this together, I could have been a professional. I could have been look up the names ahead of time so that I looked like I knew what I was talking about and doing and everything. But honestly, if I brought that much professionalism to this stream, it feels like I'd be doing a disservice. It's not authentic me, So stumbling and bumbling through these names and who these characters are kind of... I know for a fact I've seen all these characters. That's basically... if I got that, then that's fine. So I found this tier list on the tier... I hear a dog outside. Yelping. Or it's a kid. Sounding like a dog. That distracted me, sorry. So yeah. I found this tier list. If you find this exact tier list online, like I did, there was not an F rank. I added an F rank. This is slightly different than the Umineko tier list I did years ago. I think having S through D and then an F tier is actually probably better. Visually, having some characters in the F rank, if you're not exploring the scale, then it's not a fun tier list in my head. You know what I mean? And then I'm pretty sure all these characters are alphabetically arranged, so that may help me in remembering the names, but who knows? Who fucking knows? All right, we shouldn't spend too much time in this. Let's go. We'll just start from the beginning, and we'll go through order here. So we're going to do tier, and I'm going to individually place them in the thing. So, like, an S rank here is going to be, in my head, higher ranking than an S rank over here. Does that make sense? Those are the established rules. And then we go from there. Like I said, I don't think I can do any more damage to my branding than what I did when the Umineko one did and the infamous boat guy, low-ranking boat guy moment happened. I'm still mentally trying to recover from that. I will not apologize for it, and I stand by it. I even went back and watched it earlier this afternoon as I was sick, and I stand by all my rankings there. But I'm still trying to recover from it. So here we go. Higurashi characters, I think there's about 40 or so here. We start with Akane, I believe her name is. Mion Shion's mother. Honestly, pretty cool. Has some really cool moments, both later in the Higurashi chapters, and also just... I don't want to get too ahead of myself here, but generally, as I was reading through Higurashi, I was like, damn, the adults kind of suck and blow for multiple reasons and drop the ball story-wise throughout Higurashi. But Akane actually bucks that trend, I think. She has some really cool moments. She seems cool. She seems with it. She had her probably standout moment in my head is when she was with her like gangster politician husband or whatever at like the police station or something, and her and Oishi do like the team up attack against that one guy who was being an asshole, and they basically just fucking suplex him with a moment that was like, I don't think it was like, I think it was a random chance that it happened, but it was like really cool. Akane also stands as that buffer between Mion and Shion and then the overbearing grandmother. That's name begins with an O, but I can't remember exactly, and she's next to Oishi, so I know I'm close with that. But she is like that buffer, right? Because grandma, hard ass. Mion and Shion, dope. The buffer, Akane, between those. I'm pretty favorable for Akane. I don't think she is so high that she gets into that S rank. In my head, I'm debating. I haven't planned this all out. We're doing this spur of the moment. I think, so if you're like, oh, why doesn't he just put it? I'm like talking through this actually, because it's not fun if I already had the plan. I'd already have this up and then I'd just flash this on screen and then we don't do this. I'll go take my sick ass home, you know? A or B is where I'm feeling. Do I want to go A, or is it too early to start the A? Because I don't want to, once I put them in, I don't want to do too much shuffling. That's the thing. Once we lock into a letter grade, I want to make sure we're... B, does B seem too low? Does A seem too high? I'm going to go B, but I wouldn't be surprised if she ends up high B. I want to make sure we leave room at the top. We can't start giving like everyone A and S's. You know what I mean? That's just not gonna happen. Akasuka, right? Akasaka, young, hotshot detective policeman, makes a promise later on we find with Rika. Ends up his moments end up becoming really important. He's an important character as the story progresses. Has a wife, a child we'll get to later. He is very capable. He's another capable adult. Helps the kids. Is down to help with the kids. Also down to party a couple times with Oishi. He doesn't shy away necessarily 100% from that. He's a strong fighter. Has some really good moments. He has that. Always my moment is when like him and Mr. Okanogi guy gets into like a one-on-one fight and gets his ass handed to him. That's basically the standout moment, but also the moment that also resonates with me non-combat wise would be when we read that part where young Rika is talking with him and being like, yeah, bad things are going to happen. I'm going to die. People are going to murder me. A lot of shit's going to happen. And like he holds on to that in his mind, and that ends up being the catalyst for his coming back, being a main bit player there. In saving the day, I'm thinking he gets an A. But just like how Akane is going to be high B, I think he's going to end up being a low A in my head. So just put that there for now. This guy. Now, I went back, like I said, earlier this afternoon. I watched the Umineko character tier list. This guy, did they reuse this sprite? Or am I crazy, or they just look very similar from the guy that was also in Umineko? And then is this guy just default Meadowlark, Skylark, Skybird agent man that was under Okanogi and fucking Mio Takano? Like, is that just this guy? Is just the fucking guy? Also, he gets if that's who this is, because it's slightly different. Like, this is I think we just recently read it where they used his sprite to represent the guy who got decimated mentally, like mental gap against Satoko, where there was that game she was like playing with the traps in the climax of the story and everything. So he kind of sucks. He's obviously... Oh, I should also say this. Just because you're a bad guy, like an antagonist, doesn't mean you're automatically going to get low on the rank. And just because you're a good guy doesn't mean you're going to automatically go high. Also, good characters can get put down low if they, like, you know... I use the word good, like, they're a good guy. If you're a bad guy, it doesn't mean you're automatically getting here. I just want to put that out there. But yeah, this guy loses mental game against Satoko. Kind of sucks. If it's who I think it is, I think this is our first F, but I don't think he's going to be the bet. Like, I bet he's not going to be in the bottom of F when all things considered. Chie. Teacher Chie Sensei. What's that trope in like sitcoms where you have a character who's like has one joke, and then as the seasons progress, they just keep hammering that and get more and more, like, more jumping the shark, and then they're like, by the time like they're like 4 seasons into a show, it's like the character isn't even like a human, it feels like, anymore. They spout like nonsense and they're like as dumb as bricks and everything. That's basically Chie and her and Curry. The joke got old after a while, even up until 2 days ago or whatever. It feels like we were reading about her. It was her at the pool talking about Curry, and she was just one track mind kind of thing. And then also, like, she suffered from kind of incapable adult thing, like, syndrome, I feel, in this. She did attempt to go to the house of Satoko's uncle that one time to try to help, but was kind of turned away, and so that didn't seem great. I'm thinking C or D. This might end up being a low C. What's her face? the friend of her. What's your name? We spent so much time with you. You truly just wanted the best for them. Even though you liked the boy first, she came in and stole your guy, kinda, but you're a friend, so you're like, damn, I gotta do this. Gotta surrender my feelings for him. What is your name? We just did Chisato. See? The alphabetical actually ended up helping here. Okay, Chisato. Fucking Wendy's Wendy's fast food mascot looking ass. I mean, she's nice. She got the job for her friend, right? She's got the connections at the hospital. She's annoying. She thinks she's very funny, and her friends put up with her for that. Definitely, but yeah, it's revealed she's good. She does nice things. Again, she reluctantly kind of gives up the fucking her feelings for the one guy. Yeah, I think this is gonna be a B. We'll give her a B. Now, this is unfortunate. This guy is, definitely an agent man under Tomoe, right? Can't remember his name for the life of me. I know some of them. Like, this is, Kumagai. And we have Kasai over here. What was your name, man? And you're not the evil one. I remember the evil one. The one who ends up being evil. Spoiler alert. The rat. What's your name? I don't even know. Let's see. If you're not just if I can't remember your name, you automatically get low rank. That's definitely not what the situation is. But you just kind of, you're there. You're just a supporting character through and through. You are supporting McGee. You know, you're just there to support. I'm gonna go. You probably end up getting a high D. I'm sorry, sir. This guy was also a helping agent man, but then later revealed to be a very bad guy. But it almost felt forced, in my opinion. Like, okay, we gotta have someone's gotta be revealed as the secret bad guy in these advanced arc stories, right? Okay, we're gonna make it this guy. He was working, he stole out information, and he ends up trying to kill some people. A bit forced bad guyness onto him. I don't really care for him. I'm also going to put D, but there's probably going to be some gap characters in between these two. Hanyu. Hanyu. This version, Hanyu. I don't have inherently a problem with Hanyu. I think she's funny. She can get somewhat obnoxious, but they're really, like, that's kind of like her thing. Like, she's supposed to be that. I think she works as a really good counter to Rika. Like, the pair of them, when Rika's just with her moments with Hanyu, like, you know, deadpan Rika, very dark and tired of shit Rika, paired up with innocent-sounding Hanyu, is really good. Does that give me a boost to her? Because she counteracts and is a great foil for her. On her strength alone, she's cool. She's old spirit. She's fun. She has some funny moments. Only slightly obnoxious. I think I'm going to go B, and I'm going to stick her in between. She gets above Chisato, but still below Akane in my head. Irie, doctor, technically good guy, has some weird fetish shit. Unfortunate. There's gonna be some characters in here where, like, just because they're unfortunate, like, interests, it's gonna knock them down some pegs. You know what I mean? Like, some of these people are not gonna be able to see heaven, aka the S rank, because of some of their like talked about interests and fetishes. Like, I just gotta be honest with you. That's how we do it here. Irie, doctor, willing participant into some initial kickoff of some of the stuff at the Irie Institute. Extracurriculars, he manages the baseball team. Some of the kids really trust him. He's kind of a fucking dork. He got shot that one time by Shion. Actually brings Shion onto the baseball team to try to help her out. That's a solid that he did for Shion. Still got shot by her at some point. And then, like I said, weird maid thing for him. That's gotta knock him down at least a couple pegs, right? But is he is he as bad as Chie? No. He does more work than Chie. He actually gets some shit done. I think he has to go in C, but is above Chie. This guy, he's gonna end up going low. He's the bro friend to Kechi Maibara. They end up being, they were started off as rivals, then they like had a bro moment in the bathroom or something. Did I just daydream that? And then they went to like Angel Mort, and then they had like a shared bonding experience over like over at Angel Mort about talking about pastries and sweets and ladies, I guess. They kind of have like the ultimate bro friendship by the time everything's done. Kind of a jokey character though. He did the baseball thing, but he just doesn't bring enough to the table. That's going to be a D, but he's above these guys. All right. Kasai. Left-hand man, right-hand man to Shion and the Sonozaki family. A lot of stuff revealed about him in like little pockets throughout the story. I think it's honestly even revealed that he's into like Akane. It's like a I don't want to say a shushed secret romance, but I think like there was some point where he was like, it talked about, or maybe I saw it online somewhere. Maybe. I can't remember exactly if I read it out like expressly or like it was talked about somewhere online or something. But he's into Akane. He's fucking strong as shit, and also doesn't mind delivering food to Shion when Shion's doing like her own thing, and she like finds a place, and she's like ran away from that school or whatever kind of like situation. And he's so cool. He's strong. He can fight. He's capable. He's got like superpowers basically, I think. Rocks the little tiny shades. More the strong silent type, but also gets shit done. I think this is going to be our first S. I think I mentioned even a long time ago that like when I said something like inevitably I'm going to do this character tier list, and you'd be a fool for me for thinking I wouldn't put him in anything other than S. Maibara-kun, Keiichi Maibara. New kid in town, Maibara. Strong-willed, ultimate catalyst for the end as we get towards the end. Obviously has some unfortunate endings in early chapters, but the ultimate catalyst with Rika and all that, he teaches her that, you know, people can learn from their mistakes in previous timelines and all that. There's all that junk. Obviously portrayed as the main character, especially early on. Although that, we change perspectives as we get through the story. I think I gotta go A rank, but he's probably gonna be a low A. Old man Kimiyoshi. Old man, leader of one of the families. Kind of just bumbles around. Again, unfortunate old person thing. There was something about hemorrhoids. I don't know why hemorrhoids is like strong in my brain when talking about him. That was something about like how he went to the hospital or something, and that was like a linchpin for some mystery. Like they couldn't have talk to him because he was getting hemorrhoids checked out, or there was something. Hemorrhoids, man. Hemorrhoids. He's getting a C rank, but still better than Chie. As I said earlier, Kumagai, helpful to Oishi throughout the story. Seems nice. Seems like a pal. Could be a pal. Doesn't have a lot of problematic things going with him. I don't have a lot to say about him. But he's also not, like, problematic and not so offensive, you know? I think we're going top of the C for now. Unintentional pyramid really going on right here. Madoka. Sister to Tomoe. Tragic family situation. Traveled the path of unsavoriness to get by in life. She seems cool enough, and I'm not holding her weird marriage to the old guy that we'll get to at the very end, apparently, here. I'm not holding that against her. I'm going to hold that more against him. I'm going to be 1,000,000% honest. She's helpful. She ends up giving, like, she ends up reading, like, the notebook thing, that like, brain blasted Tomoe's, you know, search for her dad, like, the deciphering her dad's, like, notebook notes or whatever at that one point. So she did something good. Again, not really problematic in really anything. Like I said, not the biggest fan of her relationship with the old policeman, but I'm trying not to hold that too much against her. I'm gonna say Madoka. I'm putting you also in C, but in front of Irie. Unfortunate for Irie. But we're going to have a lot of people beating him out, let's be honest. All right, here we go. Meat and potatoes here. Mion Sonozaki. Mion Shion, Mion. Don't call me Mion Shion. Mion Sonozaki. Honestly, one of my favorite characters. It's pretty tough because you're like, of course, like she's like designed in a lab to be like kind of liked, you know, as far as like when we're reading through the story. Like she's funny, she's got that chill personality, kind of. Also is ready to go to, like, there's the misdirection at the beginning of the story where you're like, there's that part where it's like, for a stretch of time, like, Keiichi's like, oh, you're not doing enough, Mion, and Mion's like, what do you want me to do? I'm a kid, like, and I've got a lot of things that are just like tying me down, kind of thing. Like, I can't. Mion, you probably can't get anything below an A, right? Major important character, very funny, has some great moments. Love her personality. She's fun. Probably not enough to get into S, honestly. But I will put her highest A so far. Nope, highest A, I said. Thank you. Miyuki. Older Miyuki here, but I don't think we have a younger Miyuki, right, in the list? Yeah. Okay, they don't do an age thing. Okay. Miyuki. She's cool. We had that one story that really heavily featured her. She did some sneaking around. She went back to Hinamizawa as she got older. She did that thing. She had that one arc that I can't remember the name of, but she was in there. Young Miyuki, we see her as young Miyuki with Kasuga. The child of Kasuga. She seems cool. We don't get a ton with her except for that one character arc. I mean, she pops up randomly, but, like, beyond that, she's not, like, throughout the whole story. Obviously, she's an advanced arc character. But she shouldn't get low just because she wasn't, like, throughout the whole story, right? She's pretty cool. I'm gonna put her in B, but below Chisato for now. Nagisa, right? Nagisa, dies. As if that's like automatic disqualifier. She dies. Ghost of Nagisa gets Tomoe out of trouble a lot of the times, right? The car thing, the murder attempt on Tomoe. That's cool. Old personal friendish sort type to Rina. Obviously, the history between them two ends up getting made up by the end. Nagisa. Hospital. She does some things. By the end, we feel warm. It's like, oh, her and Rina made up. You know, everything is great. Everything's fine. Everyone loves each other. Again, the ghost of Nagisa basically saving Tomoe from drowning. And the plane thing. When Tomoe, spoiler, but when Tomoe like drives the car into the plane, that also like she kind of got saved because Nagisa like fucked with the door, right? Whatever the fucking justification of that was. I'm looking at this list here. I think too good, too nice to go into C or below. I think, but behind Miyuki, I think is fair. Alright, Natsumi, right? That's her name, Natsumi. I always want to say Natsuhi. Who am I thinking of when I say Natsuhi? Natsumi? Natsumi. Of note, not the straight-haired version. Not the new, fresh-cut, straightened hair sprite used, but the pigtails. God, she kind of sucked, didn't she? Not necessarily her problem. She was going through a lot of shit, had a lot of stressors in her life, also had medication problems, mental problems, but she kind of sucked a lot of the time. Again, how much do I hold against someone if it's not necessarily 100% their fault, you know, that they sucked? How much do I blame? How much victim blame? Basically, I'm asking myself, how much victim blaming do I want to do and allow? Damn. I mean, lots of fucked up things going down. She kind of fish out of water type character. She's like, oh, I'm from the country. I'm a country bumpkin. Oh, no one likes me. Oh, I'm dating the hot artist guy. My life sucks. My mom is tough on me. My grandma keeps praying because it's the one thing that ties her to her history and her family and her past. Nag. Basically, that's what I think of with Natsumi. I gotta go quite low. I don't think we go Chie low, though. I don't think we go Old Man Kimiyoshi low. But I'm thinking I'm putting her in behind Irie. I can't keep these two boys' names straight, and I can't even remember them necessarily. Put a gun to my head, can't remember their names. But basically, they're recurring kids in the school because it's kind of weird if you have a school situation and a classroom and things happening in the classroom and you only have named characters that are like the club, right? So these two kids fill that role in. They get trained at certain points to also start being weird about I think like seeing some of the main cast like in like outfits and stuff. That's kind of weird. And then other than that, don't really bring much to the table. Are they so offensive that it should be F? No. But does it make me want to put you in D? It does. And I'll get the glasses kid right next to you. You guys are a pair. Alright. Okanogi. The guy does some bad things. Handles a little army. Has to put up with Mio Takano and her shit. Loses to Akasaka in a one-on-one fight, basically. Very punchable face, if we're being honest. Like, look at that smirk he's got going on. I vaguely remember some, like, funny lines. He's got a couple. He's got, like, 1.5 moments. But he's probably going top of D. Yeah, that's what I have to say about him. Oishi. Early on in the story, painted as the main antagonist, always inviting kids into his car with the AC blasting during those summer months. Aw, damn, so inviting a car. Says weird things. He's kind of like that annoying guy that you put up with because it's like, oh, he's nice, he means well. Has some, like, weird comments sometimes. His laugh can get annoying. And then he gets his little redemption towards the end. He fights off some of the higher-ups' pressure from the police department kind of thing, special force, whatever. Helps the squad, even though his pension or whatever is at risk. That he's worked so hard for his life that he needs. So he's the ultimate, like, kind of like redemption arc kind of thing. This is tough. This is a tough ranking. This one's tough to place. He's got to go above, like, Kumagai, right? He's got to go above Nagisa and Miyuki. Oh man, I think I actually have to put him. It's here or here. Damn. This is tough. This one's a tough one here. I'm putting him below Hanyu. Old Biddy Grandma Sonozaki. Is it Oryu? Oryu Sonozaki? I remember the name now. It comes to me because I was thinking Oishi. Oryu. She seems like a hard ass. She comes across as hard. Her whole thing is like her family hasn't been doing all these bad deeds, but they accept that people believe that they're doing it because she needs that kind of power kind of thing. Hard ass, mean, sometimes. Ends up having a soft spot at some point in the story towards the end. Doesn't bring a ton to the table though. Beyond that, I'm actually gonna put her behind Okanogi. That's crazy, but I'm doing it. This guy, definitely can't remember his name, but his whole deal when he came back to, when he was in the arc with Miyuki and them, he was signed up basically with an online group for like a suicide pact, then chickened out at the end when he realized that someone he was with, the girl he was with, was rich and would have a ton of money. So he backs out of his own suicide attempt because he can, when she dies, he could take her money basically. I don't think it's honestly that bad. I think I tried to defend it kind of when all things were said and done. I don't know if that makes me a bad person. But yeah, backs out of the suicide pact. That's pretty much his thing. Other than that, he's not very interesting. But I kind of want to put him high-ish because, like I said, I want to defend his actions. You want me to be mad because someone decides not to kill themselves? You know what I mean? Like, I can't. I think that's a good thing, even in a fictional story, right? And honestly, that girl wanted to die, so if she has the ability to save this guy, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? The most recent character on this that we just read over the last several days is Uka Furude. She has a cool moment. She becomes a badass. She learns the blade techniques. Um, fights her own mother. She's kind of cool. She's got a weird dad. I think I gotta go C, but low C. I think we're even going below Chie. That's crazy, but yep. Rena. She's cool. She has some moments. If, like, basically a main character, obviously. She has her moment prior to Hinamizawa getting to Hinamizawa. Where she went on a rampage, which is kind of cool, honestly. It's kind of badass. Kind of cool with the hatchet and all. She loves trash. She's a trash goblin. She probably, other than maybe Akasuga and Kasai, maybe this potential to have the strongest output as far as fighting ability when she goes into cute mode. That's cool. She's got a vocal tick that never was too annoying to me. It's kind of endearing. She has some cool moments. The moments early on in the story when she's like scary and she's got the scary eyes and she's scaring Kiichi Maibara. I even think those are cool. I think scary Reina is cool. Obviously, it's like an easy juxtaposition to have when you're like, oh, it's the sweet character, but she's got this secret, scary hidden side, and you're like, oh, fuck, like, that's nothing new, but I still like it for her. I gotta go A above Kiichi Maibara-kun. Above. I think that's fair. Rika. Alright. I think we're looking at our second S character. Rika, early favorite of mine, even throughout, like, very early. I was like, Rika is my girl. Obviously, I like all variations of Rika. I like Rika when she's alone and talking to Hanyu and she's in her deadpan serious mode. I'm trying to cheer everyone up version of Rika and she says Nippa. I like Beta, basically Hinamizawa bus stop Rika. I think that Rika is cool too. And I'm gonna throw that in because I can. I make the rules here. So Rika, yeah. Do I put her above Kasai, though? That's basically what we gotta decide. Because if she gets above Kasai, that might be our highest ranked character. Which I think is probably a mild take. I bet I'm not alone in that. As far as Rika enjoyers, Rika fans. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta put her... Obviously, it's tough when you make such a likable character and they're also, like... Obviously... Like, a main focus. She ends up becoming, like, she is the main character when you're going through the main story. Then you quickly learn, like, oh, yeah, you start through the eyes of Kiichi Maibara. But, yeah, you quickly learn that Rika is the linchpin for everything. It's kind of hard not to just give her the top rank by default almost, so congratulations, Rika. Other Rena. Pink-haired man. Pink-haired Rena who tried to step in on our Rena's father. Does some real horrible shit. But low-key, she's a baddie. Don't say that about anyone. I'm just making up new things to say. But she truly, I mean, she kind of bad though, right? Like bad in a good way. But she's evil. But favorite character is the Hatsune Miku knockoff in B tier. Damn, that's a rude thing to say to either Nagisa or Hanyu, depending on who. I guess you're talking about Nagisa would be my guess. I think you'd say purple if you were saying that. Low key, honestly, she does a little bit of crime, but like, am I gonna harshly judge her for that? No. It takes all kinds of people to get by in this world. Now she took it one step further. I was gonna say, you know, who wants to criticize too much for like a gold digging type situation, but she obviously, with the plan with this guy, obviously takes it a step further. I mean, I don't want to put her too low though. Am I secretly in love with her? I'm gonna go. I almost said B, and I think I am gonna stick with B. Oh, this is gonna be crazy. This is where am I gonna land here? I can't put her above Oishi. That's crazy. Can't put her above Miyuki. Definitely above this guy though, right? Definitely above Nagisa. You know what? I'm fine with this. I'm fine. I stand by this. All right. Satoko. I would say probably in my opinion, the most annoying of the main cast. But she's supposed to be like that mischievous little annoying person. Is it charming? Is it endearing? She goes through a lot of shit, obviously. Accidentally killed her parents. Right? We're all in agreement on that. That's not good. But it was a mistake. She was going through shit. Kills her parents. Parents dead. Unfortunate. Spoiler alert. This is tough. Because like I said, she, in my opinion, is probably the lowest ranked of the main cast. But she's still pretty good, but she's kind of annoying. She's designed to be annoying. I can't in good conscience put her like in D or F or anything. C sounds criminal, but I'm thinking like we go high C. Oh, but if I do high C, that's below this guy. Actually, no. No, we're doing C. Shove her in there. I'm intentionally ranking this guy high. I'm trying to tip the scales in this guy's favor. I gotta stick by it. Satoshi Hojo. Blonde-haired brother to who we just ranked. In the past timeline, baseball kid. Protects Satoko quite a bit. Love interest to Shion for a time there. He's kind of on the quiet side. He doesn't get too much characterization, honestly. But obviously he's a driving force for a lot of Shion's actions throughout the story. I kind of like how they built him up through the main story, the chapters. Like, he's a very mysterious character. Like, who is this Satoshi guy? And then it kind of, once it's revealed and, like, you learn more about him, in my opinion, it's kind of like a wet fart at that point. Like, it's kind of just like, I thought it was going to be something cooler, if I'm being 100% honest. I am going to put Satoshi below Okanogi. Yeah, I'm with that. Shion Sonozaki. Am I gonna rate her higher than me on Sonozaki? I really liked Shion. If Rika wasn't a character, I probably would say Shion was my favorite. She's crazy. She knows what she wants. She has her own little adventure. She breaks out of a school thing. She's basically an adult in a kid's body where, like, mentality and personality-wise. She fucks around with Ketchimaibara for a bit, making her doing the thing where it's like, oh, am I Shion? Am I Mion? Oh. That's fun. That was a fun little adventure. Honestly, I think this is our third S. But below Kasai. Shion would be nowhere without Kasai, in my opinion. Inflammatory statement. Yeah. I think that's an S rank, but below Rika and Kasai. I'm fine with that. Like I said, probably would be my favorite character if Rika didn't exist. Mio Takano. Takano. Fucking insane person. Obviously, basically the reveal to be the main antagonist by story's end. Obviously, there's people above her. The story tries to portray her as a sympathetic villain, though, towards the end. Ultimately, she wanted to just advance her fake father's research because she thought he gave her a chance in life. But it drove her mad. She did some terrible shit, obviously, caused a lot of problems. She's kind of insane. Almost starts getting baddie levels as far as the pink-haired Rina as well, if we're being 100% honest. I wonder in the fandom, because I don't know. We just finished the story, and I refuse to go online, but I wonder how big the fandom is for Mia Takano. Do people really like Takano? How much do people like Takano? She uses her womanly ways and charm to fucking just dominate this guy. But she's weird. She's so weird. She had some really weird moments. But does that make her more endearing as like a villain too? I'm trying to divine some thoughts from the crying cicadas here. She's got to go high. She's got to go, like, probably low B. Sympathetic villain. Generally, I'm pretty tough on sympathetic villains. Generally, I want my villains in stories to just be, come on, own your villainous. I get why stories make villains, like, they try to paint their motivations as, like, oh, they technically started out as, like, mean and good. But sometimes you just want your villain to own up to be a villain. She had the moment where she tried to shoot the kids and couldn't hit them for the life of her. That was funny. It's also quite pathetic on her end. Causes a lot of problems. I'm gonna put her... Oh, man. I didn't think I would put her that high before I thought about this. I'm putting her B right behind Oishi. It's kind of crazy I'm putting her below Oishi, right? Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. Fuck, I cannot remember this girl's name. Friend to Chisato and another person whose name escapes me now, even over the course of the last like 20 minutes. I'm gonna blame the sickness on it. She's the level-headed. She's much more level-headed. She is the partner to Chisato. When you have like an outrageous character, she's then the level-headed character that balances her out. Understands the pain Chisato goes through. Doesn't need a lot of spotlight on her. She still does good. She doesn't really have any problematic parts. I think she's got a... Chisato gets a lot of bump up because of how supportive she was. But if I put her in, but the only thing is like she's so level-headed, but boring. She's a bit boring. That's unfortunate for her. Boring. Gets you mid-C. Uncle man, Unk, who actually has done terrible shit to a lot of people. Criminal, did terrible shit, unspeakable horrors, don't have to go much more than that. Disgusting guy, disgusting personality. I think, probably the easiest, ranking there. This man, why does his name escape me? He's a big character. When he puts on his weird suit, he gets a weird, like, sprite silhouette. I could never get over that, honestly. I'm not gonna hold it against him, but it always just looked funny, like that suit didn't look like it fit him properly. But when he's in his tank top, showing off his guns, you know what I mean? Mild-mannered, at least, you know, throughout most of what we know. He ends up getting murdered at different points during the bad endings of some of these arcs and chapters. Falls for Mio Takano, so clearly, like, we know what kind of person he's into as far as what he's looking for in a partner. The domineering type personality he's into in Mio Takano. Able to be, you know, swindled that way. Takes pictures of kids randomly. I remember when we first introduced him, I thought he was going to end up being really, really, really weird because he would just, like, take pictures and show up, and I think that was probably intentional, like, portraying him as, like, why is he taking pictures of the kids? His dumb camera, his dumb muscles, his dumb tank top, and his dumb suit that gives him a weird silhouette. I'm gonna go... right next to Irie is too easy, right? There we go. I'm fair with that. I'm fine with it, I mean. Tomoe. Tomoe, super cool. We spend so much time with her through those advanced arcs. Also does, like, she's friend to a lot of kids. Ends up being an adult that these kids can turn to and gets the trust of like the ghost of Nagisa and of Rina and what's her face? She does a lot of shit. We spend a lot of time with her, so naturally she gets fleshed out quite a bit. She goes on this mystery. She has traumatic family moments. She's able to finally accept the wedding of her little sister and the old guy. She's got the favor of Oishi. She's willing to drive a car into a plane, which is kind of badass. Just to, like, stop a thing. Like, she doesn't care if it was going to kill her. She's got a great appetite. Some people are into that. I think she has to go high. I'm thinking A, but I'm looking at all the characters we have in A, and I'm like, do I put them literally... You know what? I think I put her above Kechimaibara. I get he's the main character guy going in, but we spend so much... And maybe it's recency bias, obviously. But I think I put her below... I think, yeah. Let's go. Awkward art guy. He's going to be an artist. He's going to school for art. Oh, I'm so awkward. I'm the shy artist. Oh, everyone, I'm so handsome and, like, I'm so cool. And I have a cool name, but I honestly forget what it is at this exact moment. I have all the girls fawning for me. Uh, uh, but that's not his fault, right? I can't hold a grudge like that. Or do I? I mean, or am I petty? Uh, he's kind of just exists to act as a catalyst between Chisato and girl. Why the hell? I literally said her name like 10 minutes ago, and now I can't. Like I said, I've got like foggy brain from the sickness I'm currently going through, so cut me a little slack. But he mostly stands as a catalyst to be the object of desire, for lack of a better term, between the two of them, and then also to basically reflect the jealousy that then Natsumi, that's her name, Natsumi feels. Obviously, the deep insecurities Natsumi feels, like she's like, oh, I don't deserve this guy who cares about me, who's like into art and is hot, I guess. I don't know. He basically just acts as a catalyst and a mirror. He doesn't get much fleshed out. He's like, oh, look at my art. Oh, I'm so good at art. And that's really, it's kind of unfortunate. He's supportive of Natsumi. There's that. But I just don't think that's enough. It's not enough. I'm going to put him in D, but he's at the top of D. He's above Okanogi. Not cool enough to get even break C of Uka Frude there. This guy's stupid smiling face. If I'm correct, there's a chance I'm wrong, but I believe this is the guy who was the high school friend of Tomoe, who then seemed like he was a shifty character and did do some bad things, but then ended up being helpful, solving the problem, and ended up being helpful for Tomoe towards the end there. Even though he knew it was putting him in deep shit. But he gives off a weird energy, and it's not just because of Spray smiling at me. Be kind of desperate, almost. There was that point in the advanced arcs where they went on like the date to dinner, and it was where it all broke down, and it ended up in, good for Tomoe. But I thought like I was kind of secretly hoping that he was going to reveal himself as like an ultimate asshole kind of thing, and like not be like a redeeming type thing, but we didn't get that. I don't like his energy. He got into politics. He ended up doing bad things and helping bad politicians and stuff. Obviously regretted his decisions and knew it was bad. Did it anyway for a bit. I think you gotta go low. He just doesn't bring enough to the table. I don't think low enough to go into F. Like, that seems a bit dramatic. But you are bottom D. You're below these kids, who I can't even remember their names. That's how bad. That's bad. Now, unlike, his name, what was his name? It was something with an O, wasn't it? Or whatever. Opposite to this guy is her, also in that same story with him and Miyuki. This pink-haired girl, unlike him, her story actually sucks. And she's actually bad, in my opinion. Like, she actually should be punished. And I think, worst of all, I think she gets the redemption. I'm trying to remember how exactly it wraps it up. Does she? I think she says she's going to turn herself in. I think because she technically did bad. She killed her boyfriend or whatever. Like, that's not good. Everyone was like, oh, it's really good that you're turning yourself in. Like, good job. But, like, I didn't feel good about her. I didn't go, like, at the end of it, I didn't go, like, oh, man, I'm glad they all feel warm feelings towards her. The ghost of her dead boyfriend, I think, like, speaks to her and is like, I forgive you for killing me, or whatever. And it's like, no. She painted the relationship bad. Before it was all found out that she was actually a bad person, like, she painted it like she was, like, a victim, obviously. Well, depending on how you look at her story, like, maybe she was partly a victim. Honestly, it was just a bad relationship she was in. I don't feel, unlike his story where I feel like it's unfair to him, I don't feel like it's unfair to her. And honestly, she should have been hated more. You know what? You know what? I'm talking myself into our third F rank character. When I wake up tomorrow morning, I probably think that she maybe should be in like the D's here, but honestly, I'm sticking with this. I'm sticking with her there. And then lastly, old man, gross, fucking, you can't change my mind. I don't like his relationship. I'm pinning the blame on him with the relationship between him and Madoka. I don't think I could be convinced otherwise that it's not. It's weird to me, the relationship he has with Madoka, when him and Madoka's father, who was dead at that point, had a good working relationship, and he knew her, and then he meets her in some cabaret club or whatever, and then they get to talking, and then honestly, again, uncharitable read on the situation, but he kind of looks at her and is like, oh, that like I can like save her basically, and I can help her a lot. I know it's supposed to be like, again, it's kind of portrayed as like a, oh well, it's good that he's do this and helped her and helped Madoka become like a I don't want to say a functioning, but a better functioning adult in the world or whatever. But I just don't. It's weird. It's weird. I don't like it. I know I'm an unfun. What's a U name? Unfun Frank. I'll just say unfun Frank. But I don't like it. I don't like him. I don't like him. He's old. That's just... he's old. I'm gonna go... Part of me wants to stick him in F, but I don't think I'm that harsh. But I'm really holding the relationship thing against him. I think he has to go in D. I'm thinking somewhere here to here, in this range. Put him above the kids, maybe? Yeah, I'm penalizing him. And I think I'm looking at taking an overlook. Do I need to switch anything? No, I'm committing to this. I think I like this distribution too. Your distribution should kind of explore the scale a bit here. I stand by those F ranks and those S ranks. I think there are 3 S ranked characters, and I would put them as such. A, yeah, still A is still an exclusive club. Kechimaibara just getting into A. In another, another day, I could put him on high B, but I think I'm good with this, and I'm sure no one would disagree with my opinion. I think this is good. I don't think I did anything as bad as like ranking Boat Guy and Umineko as like the bottom tier. I don't even think I'm being that inflammatory with any of these rankings. If anything, I'm trying to like, maybe this one people would disagree with, but I'm like, I'm kind of in this guy's corner. Maybe this is viewed as like a tough ranking. Maybe I'm harsh on the art boy. But I think that's pretty good. And now truly, yesterday was the finale to Higurashi. This, now with the character ranking done, I never have to think about Higurashi again. I never have to... All these characters, all these names, wipe from my brain after this, once I turn the stream off. Never will think about it again. Let's see. I think I'm gonna end stream there. I know I said I was gonna do mouthwashing, and I would like to do it in one sitting. I still feel like shit. I thought maybe once I sat at the computer and did a tier list for an hour, maybe I'd feel better. I don't, and I'd rather not try to sit through mouthwashing, a game I want to try to experience and enjoy. I'm still feeling super sick, so I think we're just gonna call it there for the night, and I apologize for that. Again, if you somehow stumbled upon this on youtube.com/my channel, You can. Over the last 2 years, like I said, I've slowly chipped away at everything Higurashi that was available to read within a reasonable distance. It's a 161 part stream series over the span of 2 years, reading all this. You could go back and watch it and be like, hey, this is why he feels this way about pink-haired baddie, or guy who dodged a suicide pact, or fucking art boy. You could do that, or you could go read with me the Umineko playthrough I did 2 years ago, or find the Umineko character tier list as well. That's there, all on the channel, the archive video YouTube thing. I think that's all I have to say. Stand by all this. Fight amongst yourself in the comments, if you will. I'll take into consideration any opinions you've got. Other than that, I'm going to head out. It's hard to do a character tier list and try to make it sound interesting while you're feeling massively sick, such as I am. So apologies. Apologies if there wasn't as much energy as you needed. I tried my best. I'm heading out. I'm going to try to get some early sleep. Until... Well, let's see. Tomorrow's Thursday. I don't know. If I still feel sick tomorrow, I'm just going to, like, call off work. If I'm being honest. I'm surprised I powered through all of today. It's kind of cruel that Pokemon Legends ZA is releasing, like, late at night tonight. Because I want to do that on stream, obviously. I'm doing that on stream. But I'm not going to stay up till 11 to do that, especially in the condition I'm in right now. If I'm sick tomorrow... Let's say this. If I'm sick tomorrow... Normally I don't stream on Thursdays, because I have things... But if I'm sick tomorrow and I do stay off work, but I feel good enough... Now that's a big if. But if I feel sick enough to stay home from work, but not sick enough to not stream, maybe I'll do like a day thing tomorrow with Legends. But if not, next scheduled stream should be Friday night, and that should be Legends. But again, we'll see how I'm feeling. I don't know what I'm sick with, but I'm sure I got something at the Magdalena Bay concert. That's what I'm blaming it. Someone's sick at the Magdalena Bay concert in the audience. Curse them. Alright, I'm gonna head out. Sorry if I'm heavy breathing. I'm like... tier list. Until next stream.